Chosen one, stop exactly what you are doing right now. Do not scroll away from this important message. This is an urgent and powerful divine intervention. The universe has specifically routed this broadcast to your screen today, and it is reaching you now because the people who doubted you are secretly watching your every single move. They are absolutely terrified of your new energy. They are secretly panicking behind their closed doors. They see the immense power of your sudden silence. You might think you are just keeping to yourself lately, but your sudden disappearance has completely shifted the entire atmosphere around the people who once tried to destroy your peace of mind. They thought they had broken your spirit when they pushed you into severe isolation, but what they did not realize was that this lonely solitude was actually your ultimate spiritual training ground, where heaven prepared you for victory. You did not break under their heavy pressure. You evolved into something they cannot even understand. Listen carefully to this highly important next part. Funny how everyone pretended they did not see you coming. They always described you the same way in the past. They called you too kind or entirely too forgiving. They foolishly thought you were the weak one who always stayed quiet just to keep the peace in their incredibly toxic environments. And because of that false assumption, they severely underestimated you. Welcome to your glorious era of quiet authority. Right now, the very same people who completely ignored your texts are feeling incredibly uncomfortable as they helplessly watch you rise. The people who drained your energy are now absolutely terrified of your divine presence. They truly thought their bitter betrayal would ruin your life forever, but instead, it activated a primal and dangerous level of spiritual power inside your soul that they can never hope to control. Do not swipe past this urgent spiritual warning. Heaven is about to expose exactly what is happening behind the scenes. There is a massive secret hidden inside your current silence. It is something you will completely miss if you leave this message too soon. The darkness absolutely does not want you to hear these next words. If you take your eyes off this screen, you will single-handedly strip yourself of the vital key to your brand new reality. You desperately need this specific frequency to unlock the next chapter. Stay right here and listen to every single word. Take one slow and very real breath right now. Feel that slight energetic shift happening deep inside your chest. That is your strong intuition, finally confirming the absolute truth of this urgent warning message that heaven sent to you today. Those who selfishly plotted against you are now nervously watching everything they built slowly crumble down to the dusty ground around them. Meanwhile, a massive table is being prepared for you right in their presence. They can literally feel the divine energy shifting rapidly away from them. You are finally winning this completely silent spiritual war. You are the rare soul who survived the storm alone. You walked through the blazing fire when nobody was there to help, and now they wonder how you shine so brightly. They whisper about your massive success behind closed doors. They desperately try to figure out what your next major move will be, but they can never predict the actions of a true master of reality. But there is a much deeper layer to this strange phenomenon. There is a hidden reason why they simply cannot stop admiring you from a distance. And before this important broadcast finally ends, you will understand exactly why everything had to happen the way it did. If you are feeling this intense shift right now, pay close attention. The ultimate truth about their secret jealousy is about to be completely revealed. You must be spiritually ready to handle this divine information. Do not let the jealous enemy convince you to click away today. They strongly prefer the older version of you, who constantly apologized for simply existing just to keep everyone else around you comfortable. Before we go any further, I need you to understand this. You have been feeling incredibly heavy in your spirit lately. The extreme exhaustion you feel is completely real. You wake up every single morning, and the deep tiredness is already sitting heavily on your chest before you even open your sleepy eyes. You silently push through all your daily tasks. You bravely try to smile for all of them. but deep inside, you are barely holding on. Listen carefully to what I am about to say next. That strange tightness in your chest is not just regular stress. You keep waking up at 3 in the morning with your mind racing fast. You stare at the dark ceiling and wonder why you feel so incredibly alone. Stop letting the loud world convince you that you are just dealing with ordinary anxiety. This is something entirely different. That heavy physical sensation is your spirit detecting a massive shift in your timeline. You are going through a severe frequency upgrade. Your physical body is reacting to the immense spiritual war happening around you. People are acting very strange around you lately. Certain close friends have suddenly stopped calling you, and you feel entirely isolated from the rest of the world. You might think you did something terrible to push them away. Stop blaming yourself for this sudden and painful silence. You did not ruin those broken past relationships. Heaven deliberately closed those doors to protect your sensitive aura from people who were secretly feeding off your pure light. You are the empath with boundaries now. In the past, they constantly drained your energy because you allowed them total access to your life. You gave them your time, your love, and your endless patience, while they offered you nothing but pure confusion in return. But now the energetic dynamic has permanently shifted. Your sudden isolation is not a punishment. It is a divine quarantine designed to heal your deeply exhausted soul. The universe is fiercely protecting you right now. If you can feel this undeniable truth resonating deep inside your chest, tap the like button as an act of agreement with what God just spoke to you. Anchor yourself to this high frequency today. You are exactly where you are supposed to be. Take a deep breath. Let that powerful validation settle deep into your tired spirit. You are not going crazy. The extreme sensitivity to loud noises and crowded rooms is a clear sign. You simply cannot tolerate superficial conversations anymore. Your bright soul instantly rejects anyone who comes to you with hidden motives or highly toxic intentions. This deep physical reaction is your brand new spiritual armor. The profound loneliness you feel is simply the empty space being prepared for a massive blessing. But you might be wondering why the universe is making you feel so incredibly drained this specific week. Why does it physically hurt to simply exist in certain environments right now? The answer is deeply connected to the toxic people you left behind. Your physical body is currently purging years of heavy emotional residue that they dumped on you. You carried their burdens for so long that your nervous system forgot how to rest. And now, in this quiet season, your mind is finally processing the intense trauma of their hidden betrayal. This is exactly why you feel like you are walking through thick mud. The extreme fatigue is pure evidence of your profound spiritual healing. You are shedding a heavy layer of false guilt that never truly belonged to you in the first place. You are stepping out of the painful role of the constant victim. You are finally reclaiming your sovereign power. Do not ignore this next important sign. When you suddenly feel a sharp drop in your energy around a specific person, pay close attention. That is your upgraded intuition, warning you about their hidden jealousy. Your body knows the absolute truth long before your logical mind can figure it out. Trust that undeniable physical sensation every single time. You might catch them staring at you with a strange look in their lying eyes. They pretend to be happy for your recent progress, but their fake smiles never actually reach their eyes. Your empathic radar instantly picks up on their bitter resentment. You feel the heavy density of their secret envy pressing tightly against your glowing spiritual shield. And that is exactly why you are so deeply exhausted. Your spiritual defenses are working on high alert to block their negative projections. They are actively trying to pull you back down to their low frequency, but your powerful soul simply refuses to sink back into their familiar darkness. You are standing your ground in absolute silence. Your physical vessel is literally rewiring its entire energetic grid. The sudden headaches and the random waves of intense emotion are just side effects of this massive upgrade. You are being completely emptied out so you can be filled with a much higher light. This is why you must rest without any feelings of heavy guilt. Do not let anyone rush your deeply sacred healing process. They will call you lazy or claim you are just being entirely too sensitive, but they have absolutely no idea what kind of heavy spiritual battles you are fighting in the dark. Your silent endurance is a powerful testament to your unmatched inner strength. You are a brilliant weapon of light. Every time you choose to rest instead of arguing with a fool, you raise your frequency. Every time you protect your peace instead of explaining yourself, you claim your ultimate victory. The intense fatigue will soon lift, and when it finally does, you will step out of this quiet cocoon with a level of authority that will shake their entire world. But there is a much deeper reason why this divine isolation had to happen exactly right now. There is a hidden mechanism behind your painful past that heaven needs to reveal. What truly happened when you decided to walk away from them? Stay with me, because this next revelation will finally bring you the total peace you have been begging for. Let me tell you the real reason this happened. You always thought your past was just a series of painful mistakes, and you constantly blamed yourself for staying entirely too long in those highly toxic places. You truly believed you were just weak for constantly forgiving them, but that is a massive lie the enemy planted in your exhausted mind. Your endless patience was never a sign of foolish weakness. It was a rigorous training ground designed specifically for a chosen one. Heaven deliberately placed you in those heavy rooms to test your spiritual endurance. You had to learn how to spot a fake smile from a mile away, and you had to feel the sharp sting of betrayal so you could recognize toxic energy forever. The universe was heavily upgrading your spiritual defense systems. They thought your silence was just you surrendering to their loud demands. They thought they had successfully broken your spirit into tiny pieces. But what they did not realize was that your quiet endurance was actually a brilliant shield while you were silently gathering massive amounts of data about their dark psychological patterns. You were learning exactly how their toxic matrix operated behind the scenes. Every single time you bit your tongue, you were building extreme discipline. A weak person reacts loudly to every tiny insult thrown their way. But a true master of reality observes everything and says absolutely nothing because they know their powerful silence is incredibly dangerous. You became the empath with boundaries because you survived their chaotic storms completely alone. Your past was not a punishment, but a highly necessary spiritual initiation. You might be wondering why the universe took so long to rescue you. Why did heaven let you cry yourself to sleep for so many painful years? The delay was not a rejection of your desperate midnight prayers. The universe was simply delaying your massive breakthrough to clean out the rooms you were about to enter, and heaven had to ruthlessly remove those counterfeit connections from your timeline. If the universe had handed you the heavy crown back then, they would have stolen it. Those toxic narcissists would have drained your new blessings instantly. So heaven placed you in a strict divine quarantine to effectively starve them out because your sensitive soul needed total isolation to properly recover. You had to become incredibly uncomfortable so you would finally walk away for good. That intense emotional pain was the only thing that could completely break your trauma bond. I know it hurt terribly when they suddenly turned their backs on you. I know you felt entirely abandoned when they smeared your good name. They desperately tried to rewrite the history to make you look like the crazy one, but their loud lies could never actually extinguish your pure inner light. You are the rare soul who refused to let their deep darkness corrupt your beautiful heart. They often mocked your deep desire to spend time completely alone. They called you antisocial because you refused to participate in their shallow drama. But your soul instinctively knew that you needed extreme isolation to properly heal while you were building a massive fortress of peace that they could never easily breach. Your quiet solitude was actually a highly advanced form of powerful spiritual warfare. And this is the exact moment the massive spiritual shift finally occurred. When you completely stopped defending yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you, you won. Your sudden withdrawal of energy starved their toxic egos into a severe panic, and they suddenly realized they could no longer easily manipulate your deep kindness. You safely took your immense power back without saying a single angry word. You became the brilliant weapon you were desperately trying to survive. The severe crucible of pain forged you into an unbreakable force of nature. Your past trauma was actually the heavy fuel for your current divine awakening. Stop looking back at those wasted years with heavy feelings of intense regret, because everything was perfectly orchestrated to bring you to this exact moment of ultimate power. Take a deep breath and let this ultimate truth deeply sink in. You were never the helpless victim in their twisted little psychological games. You were the undercover agent of light sent to entirely expose their deep, hidden darkness. And because you successfully completed that painful mission, your reward is highly secure, while the generous universe is now aggressively realigning your reality to match your new frequency. But you need to know exactly what is happening to them right now. As this massive realization settles deep into your spirit, they are suffering. The people who threw you under the bus are currently facing their own bitter karma. Their perfect lives are quietly crumbling while they obsessively watch your silent rise, and they cannot understand why you look so incredibly peaceful today. They desperately try to hide their intense panic behind fake smiles, but there is a massive spiritual block slowly crushing their empty reality. You need to understand the exact mechanism of their sudden downfall today. Do not leave this page just yet, because the deepest truth about their ultimate failure is finally coming to the light. Listen carefully to this next part. You have to understand exactly how the enemy operates in the dark. The people who tried to destroy you are not as strong as they pretend to be. They are actually deeply terrified individuals, hiding behind thick masks of fake confidence, and their biggest fear is someone like you, who can easily see right through their fragile illusions. They are empty vessels desperately searching for pure light to steal. They targeted you specifically because your bright soul possesses everything they completely lack. You have natural empathy. You have deep compassion, but they can only mimic those beautiful human emotions to manipulate the innocent people around them. They feed entirely on your highly reactive emotional pain. But here is where they made their massive and fatal mistake. They falsely assumed that your deep kindness was a permanent weakness. They thought they could continuously drain your bright energy without ever facing any serious spiritual consequences. They pushed you to your absolute limits. But instead of breaking down, you completely shut them out of your reality forever. Your sudden silence was the ultimate weapon that destroyed their toxic matrix. When you finally stopped explaining yourself to them, you cut off their primary food supply. A narcissist simply cannot survive when you refuse to give them your precious attention because they desperately need your constant emotional reactions. They need you to argue with them so they can feel highly important. And now they are starving for that lost energy. They obsessively check your social media pages to see if you are miserable without them. But all they see is your quiet authority radiating brighter than ever before. This is driving them absolutely crazy behind closed doors. They cannot understand how you healed so quickly while they are still stuck in their miserable cycles. You have officially become the unbreakable cycle breaker. You completely detached your energy from their heavy and toxic sinking ship. If you feel this powerful validation ringing true in your spirit today, I need you to take action. Type 111 down in the comments to claim this alignment and permanently block their negative energy from entering your sacred space. They want you to believe that you are the one missing out on their grand lives. They loudly broadcast their fake happiness to anyone who will blindly listen. But it is all a carefully crafted illusion designed to trigger your deep empathy. Do not fall for their cheap, theatrical performances. Heaven has already shown you the ugly truth, hiding perfectly behind their plastic smiles. The universe allowed them to test you, so you would finally learn how to fiercely protect your peace. You had to see their true colors, so you would never let them back into your heart. Every single lie they told was actually a massive blessing in disguise. Their bitter betrayal was the heavy catalyst that finally pushed you into your ultimate chosen one identity. Now they have to live with the terrible, heavy guilt of losing a rare soul like you. They will try to replace you with shallow people who blindly follow their toxic rules. But nobody will ever give them the pure and unconditional love that you freely offered. They are haunted by the quiet memory of your endless grace. Your absence is their permanent daily punishment. They will never publicly admit how much they deeply regret losing your bright light. Their swollen egos simply will not allow them to confess their massive failures to the judging world. So, they continue to play the innocent victim in a story they completely fabricated. But heaven sees every single lie they tell. And the universe is actively keeping a strict record of their terrible deeds. You do not even have to lift a single finger to get your righteous revenge. Your massive success and your deep inner peace are destroying their fragile egos completely. They are watching you walk into rooms they can never access. They are seeing the universe aggressively bless you, while their own dark paths become increasingly blocked and painfully difficult to navigate. You are now completely untouchable in your new high frequency. Their petty gossip and their dark, heavy energy simply bounce off your upgraded spiritual shield. You are the master of reality, who no longer cares about the loud opinions of deeply broken people. Your energy demands pure respect, without a single word ever being spoken aloud. You have entirely won the invisible war. But wait, before you celebrate this massive victory, you need to understand something crucial about your own spiritual frequency. There is a specific hidden reason why they suddenly started avoiding you right before you even walked away. Why did they look at you with such intense fear in those final days? It was not just because they knew you were finally waking up. There is a much deeper energetic mechanism at play here. Your quiet intellect was doing something highly dangerous to their dark shadows. You were literally acting as a massive spiritual mirror, and what they saw staring back at them was entirely too horrifying for their fragile minds to handle. Stay right here, because this next revelation changes absolutely everything. This brings us to the ultimate revelation. You have to understand the exact mechanism of your new power. The real reason they suddenly started avoiding you was not your anger, it was your blinding light. Your quiet intellect silently transformed into a massive spiritual mirror that forced them to look at their own ugly shadows. They simply could not handle that painful reflection. Every time they looked deeply into your eyes, they saw their own massive failures. You did not even have to point out their flaws. Your pure presence alone violently exposed every single lie they desperately tried to hide from the rest of the world. That is exactly why they avoided your gaze. They were absolutely terrified that you could see their broken soul. You were operating on a high frequency that was far beyond their basic comprehension. And because they could not understand your spiritual depth, they automatically tried to destroy the very light that intimidated them so much. This is the immense power of your quiet intellect. You do not need to shout loudly to be clearly heard. Your heavy energy speaks absolute volumes before you even open your mouth to say a single word. The universe has given you a profound inner knowing that instantly cuts through their shallow and completely fake realities. They do not hate you for shining so brightly. They hate you for constantly exposing their dark and hidden shadows. They deeply resent you because your pure light makes their toxic behavior impossible to hide anymore. You became a massive spiritual threat to their carefully constructed house of lies and daily manipulations. They spent many years building that fragile house of cards. They manipulated everyone around them to maintain their fake image. But your simple truth was the heavy wind that threatened to blow it all entirely down. And that is why they had to remove you from their circle before you exposed their dark secrets. This is exactly why you had to be isolated. The universe was fiercely protecting your newly upgraded frequency. You could not remain in rooms where jealous people actively conspired to dim your brilliant light. Heaven deliberately removed you from their toxic presence so you could fully activate your chosen one identity in absolute peace. You are the true master of reality right now. You have learned how to observe everything without absorbing their toxic waste. You watch them scramble for attention, and you feel absolutely nothing but deep spiritual peace. Your emotional detachment is the ultimate proof that you have completely broken the heavy trauma bond forever. Your silence is literally deafening to their ears. It continuously rings in their minds like a loud and warning alarm. They desperately want you to react angrily so they can finally feel like they are in control again. But you simply refuse to give them the emotional reaction they are constantly starving for. You are no longer playing their foolish little games. You have stepped entirely off their low vibrational battlefield for good. You are safely sitting on a throne of pure light that their dark energy cannot ever hope to reach. The spiritual war is officially over, and you have emerged completely victorious from the heavy ashes. Take a deep breath and relax your tense shoulders. Feel the heavy weight of their expectations completely melting away from you. You owe them absolutely nothing but your continued absence and your beautiful healing silence. The universe has fully cleared your massive debts, and you are finally free to walk your own divine path. You are a dangerous weapon of light today. Your deep empathy is no longer a heavy burden or a terrible weakness. It is a highly calibrated radar that instantly detects any trace of manipulation in your personal space. You are the empath with boundaries who refuses to let anyone drain your sacred energy ever again. They can try to poorly imitate your deep wisdom. They can steal your profound words and pretend to be highly enlightened. But they will never truly possess the divine anointing that heaven specifically placed upon your life. The universe only grants this rare spiritual power to those who have survived the darkest storms, completely alone. You carry a rare frequency that easily shifts atmospheres. When you walk into a room, the dark forces instantly recognize your authority. Even the unseen spiritual realm respectfully bows to your immense and undeniable inner power. You have successfully passed the hardest tests, and now heaven is ready to deliver your ultimate reward. Your brilliant mind is perfectly aligned with the universe. Your quiet intellect is constantly downloading massive amounts of divine wisdom. You do not need their validation, because God has already stamped your soul with total approval. Every single doubt they planted in your mind has been completely destroyed by your new spiritual confidence. Do not ignore this next extremely important sign. Before you fully embrace this new era of absolute peace, heaven is sending you specific physical confirmations. There is concrete proof that your massive shift is actively manifesting in the physical world right now. But you must be paying close attention to catch these subtle clues. The universe is leaving tiny breadcrumbs for you everywhere, but there is a hidden trap waiting for you right before the final finish line. A very specific test is coming to see if you have truly learned your difficult lessons. Stay completely focused right now, because I am about to reveal exactly how the enemy will try to return. Listen closely to this extremely urgent warning. The universe is about to show you highly specific signs that your massive victory is actively arriving right now. you are going to start seeing a flood of undeniable spiritual proof. You will see the numbers 111 and 777 appearing completely out of nowhere. These repeating sequences are not random at all. Do not let the loud and busy world convince you that these are just silly coincidences. The universe strictly forbids the word coincidence in the life of a true chosen one. These divine numbers are physical evidence that heaven is aggressively rearranging your entire reality behind the scenes. You might suddenly think of a specific person, and then they immediately call you. You will experience strange synchronicities that make you stop and catch your breath. That is the universe confirming that your pure frequency is completely aligned with divine wealth and massive spiritual protection. Heaven is actively winking at you today. You will notice doors suddenly opening that have been tightly locked for many painful years. Opportunities will literally chase you down the street while you are just minding your own business. And the most shocking part is how effortless it will all feel. The heavy striving is completely over, and the beautiful receiving phase has officially begun. But wait, do not let your guard down just yet, because right before the massive dawn of your new era arrives, a highly dangerous trap is actively being set. The universe is about to give you one final pop quiz, and this sneaky test is designed to see if you have truly mastered your newly established boundaries. Right when your biggest blessing is at the front door, the darkness will send a counterfeit. A ghost from your highly toxic past will suddenly reappear completely out of nowhere. They might text you with a fake apology or try to casually check in on your life. They will pretend they have completely changed for the better. This is the fatal trap I warned you about earlier. The enemy is desperately trying to sneak back into your clean energy field before the massive wealth transfer occurs. They want to attach their heavy parasitic cords to your new blessings. They know your heart is naturally forgiving, and they are trying to exploit your kindness one last time. Do not fall for this dangerous illusion. Their sudden return is not a sign of true repentance. It is a desperate panic move from a dying ego. When you see their name pop up on your glowing screen, do not feel any guilt about ignoring it completely. The universe is simply testing your resolve to protect your sacred peace. Your absolute silence is the only acceptable answer. You must completely ignore their desperate attempts to reconnect. If you reply to their toxic message, you are signaling to heaven that you are still perfectly willing to entertain the heavy darkness. You must slam that old door completely shut and throw away the heavy key forever. The counterfeit is meant to look almost exactly like the real blessing, but your upgraded intuition will immediately detect the hidden poison in their sweet words. Your chest will instantly feel tight, and your peaceful energy will suddenly drop. Trust that powerful physical reaction completely. Your brilliant body is screaming at you to turn away. When you successfully ignore their desperate knock, you pass the final test. You prove to the universe that you are entirely ready to handle the immense power coming your way. Your silence becomes the massive lock on the heavy vault of your new reality, and the moment you completely detach from their toxic outcome, the real miracle arrives. They will be forced to watch your ultimate victory from a very safe distance. Their sneaky attempt to derail your divine timeline will fail miserably, and they will finally realize that they have completely lost their twisted grip on your beautiful soul. Your quiet authority is the sharp sword that finally cuts their heavy, invisible chains. You are the ultimate cycle breaker today. You are the rare anomaly who refused to repeat the painful mistakes of your ancestors. You have successfully broken the heavy generational curses that kept your bloodline stuck in deep poverty and emotional pain. Heaven is actively preparing a massive celebration in your honor right now. Every single tear you cried in the dark is being aggressively converted into pure spiritual currency. The universe is heavily compensating you for every toxic room you ever walked away from. Your deep isolation is finally ending, and your glorious public victory is just beginning. You are about to step into a reality that blows your mind. Are you completely ready to accept this massive responsibility? The power you are about to receive requires absolute focus and deep spiritual maturity. The waiting season is officially ending right this second. The heavy storm clouds are finally breaking apart, and the bright sun is shining directly onto your spiritual crown. But there is one final and highly crucial step you must take to lock in this new reality. You need to officially declare your absolute sovereignty to the entire universe. Do not skip this next critical part. Your ultimate awakening is arriving right now, and you must claim it out loud. Stay with me for the final, powerful activation. The waiting season is officially over right now. The dry desert you walked through has suddenly burst into a massive oasis of divine favor. Every closed door is being blown completely off its heavy hinges. And as you step into this brand new timeline, the heavy chains of your painful past are shattering on the floor. You are completely free. Here is the ultimate truth you have waited for. The massive secret behind their intense fear is finally exposed. They are terrified of your silence because it is the exact sound of their own spiritual judgment. When you stopped arguing with their toxic lies, you handed their karma back to the universe. You gave God the final word. You are no longer the broken empath who begged to be understood. You are completely done trying to prove your worth to blind people. The severe crucible of pain has fully forged you into the untouchable master of your reality. From this specific moment on, your pure energy demands absolute respect, without a single word ever being spoken aloud. Your blinding light is simply too powerful to be contained anymore. The divine wealth you were promised is flowing effortlessly into your brand new timeline today. You survived the brutal storm alone. You walked through the blazing fire. And the incredibly beautiful truth is that the intense flames never actually burned you. They only purified your golden crown. Can you feel that massive shift in your spirit right now? That warm feeling in your chest is the frequency of absolute victory. You are stepping into the exact timeline you were born to rule. Heaven is officially handing you the heavy keys to the kingdom because you proved you can be completely trusted with immense spiritual power. The people who deeply doubted you are now witnessing your glorious ascension. They are watching you rise to heights they can never hope to reach. They wanted to see you fail miserably in the dark. But heaven decided to make you a massive public spectacle of divine grace just to permanently silence every single one of your bitter enemies. Every tear you cried has been transformed into a brilliant diamond. Your spiritual bank account is overflowing with divine compensation. You are officially the cycle breaker for your entire bloodline. Future generations will look back at this exact moment and thank you deeply for having the supreme courage to walk away from the heavy darkness. The dark spiritual war is officially won today. You do not have to fight those invisible battles ever again. The universe has placed a permanent shield of pure, blinding light all around your physical body. Any toxic weapon formed against you will immediately shatter into a million tiny pieces the second it touches your upgraded aura. The pitch-black darkness has completely retreated behind you. The dawn of the new era is shining its brightest rays directly onto your spiritual crown. You have successfully navigated the most dangerous maze, but now you must take physical action to lock this glorious frequency into your physical reality before the enemy tries to distract you. The enemy desperately wants you to close this video right now. They want you to walk away without claiming this massive blessing. They are hoping you will forget everything heaven just revealed to you. Do not let their invisible fear stop you from completing the final and most important step of your divine activation process today. You must establish a physical anchor to keep this high vibration flowing permanently. You have done the hard inner work for years. Now you just need to seal the heavy spiritual door behind you. The universe requires a firm declaration of your absolute readiness to receive the generational wealth and profound peace that is yours. The time for playing small is completely over today. Your hidden spiritual enemies are officially defeated, and they know it. The massive universe has fully cleared your entire path to incredible wealth and success, completely removing every toxic obstacle that once stood in your way. And heaven is eagerly waiting for you to officially accept your heavy new crown. But you must firmly lock this exact frequency right now before you leave. To completely lock in this glorious frequency and create an absolute shield of protection, you must take physical action. Type Amen down in the comments below to firmly claim this divine alignment today. Seal this beautiful new reality right now. Do not let the jealous enemy steal your profound peace. You have fought entirely too hard to let this massive blessing slip away. Hit the subscribe button right now to establish a permanent divine energy receiving station so you can safely maintain your upgraded spiritual frequency. This simple physical action proves your total obedience to the high calling on your life. It firmly anchors your glowing soul at the highest possible vibration. You are actively building an unbreakable wall of pure spiritual light around your bright future. Your absolute sovereignty is officially declared. If this fiery message has successfully reignited the powerful faith inside you, do not keep this massive blessing entirely to yourself. There is another beautiful soul out there bleeding in the dark of despair today. They desperately need this exact guiding light to find their way home. Share this urgent message with them right now. Sowing this precious seed of hope today multiplies the blessing for you tomorrow. The glorious dawn of your brand new era is finally shining down on you. Walk forward with absolute quiet authority and never look back at the heavy darkness, because your future is shining brighter than the golden sun. You are the untouchable master of reality. You are the ultimate chosen one. Your massive spiritual victory is securely written in the stars forever. Go in absolute peace and rule your beautiful new world.